You have cried a lot, alone. In the bathroom with the faucet running so no one would hear. In the car, after work, with your face pressed against the steering wheel, waiting for the courage to go inside. On your pillow, at 3 in the morning, when the whole house was asleep and only you were still awake, trying to understand at what moment your life turned into this. And you thought no one saw. You thought no one heard. You thought those tears went down the drain and simply vanished. But today, God wants to tell you one sentence. Just one sentence. And this sentence will turn everything you've been feeling over the last few months upside down. Your tears were not in vain. God has seen your tears, every single one of them. And now, I am going to turn all of that into joy. If you felt your chest tighten just now, don't change this video. Everything happens for a reason. This is not just another random video that popped up on your screen. This is an answer. And by the end, you will understand why precisely today, precisely now, precisely you. I am going to show you 3 things. First, what is the sign that God has already seen your tears and is preparing your breakthrough? Second, why He allowed you to cry so much before acting. And third, what needs to happen within you in the coming days so this joy doesn't pass you by. Because there is a type of blessing that God releases into a person's life, and they don't even notice. They walk right over the blessing thinking, it's still the same struggle. And I don't want that to happen to you, so take a deep breath. Sit down. Take your phone off silent just to make sure no one will interrupt you, because now begins a conversation that could be one of the most important of your life. And if you are over 35, pay extra attention, because there is something specific that happens to our generation that makes God act in a different way. You will understand why in a moment. And before you think, oh, another video of pretty words, let me guarantee you one thing. There is no fluff here. Here there is a hard word, a word that hurts to heal and a word that sets you free. If God brought you here, it is because something needs to be said, and you need to hear it. And here is the point that few people understand. When God begins to collect someone's tears, He is preparing that person for a purpose that goes beyond themselves. It's not just about you. It's about your family. It's about those who depend on your faith. It's about the children who are watching you even when you think they aren't. It's about your spouse who sees in you the last anchor of the home. And many people reach this moment and freeze. They freeze out of fear. They freeze out of doubt. They freeze because they cannot see the magnitude of what God is doing. That is why I prepared a powerful digital book for you titled, How to Know If You Are Saved for Judgment Day. This material was written for those who are feeling exactly what you are feeling right now. That sensation that something needs to change urgently. That restlessness that doesn't let you sleep properly. This book has helped thousands of families in America find clarity about the spiritual path they are on. People who lived in anguish today report peace and direction after applying what is inside. The link is pinned in the description of this video and also at the top of the comments. Go there, secure yours now. This content could be taken down at any moment, and I don't want you to miss this door that God is opening precisely today. If you feel that this word is for you, write now in the comments, Amen, Lord, I receive it. Now let me tell you something you might not have realized yet. There are signs, very specific signs that appear in the life of someone who is in this moment of breakthrough. Signs that seem like coincidence, but are not. The first sign is a strange mixture of exhaustion and expectation. You are exhausted, but deep in your chest there is a spark that something good is about to happen. You can't explain where this feeling comes from. It appears out of nowhere. In the middle of lunch on the way to the market, when you are driving in traffic in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Miami, Seattle, a feeling that despite everything, something good is coming. This is the first sign. The second sign is more uncomfortable. You start looking at the people around you and feeling that you no longer belong in those places. Family gatherings that you used to love now tire you. Conversations with co-workers seem empty. You find yourself silent in the middle of a table full of people, with that Sunday barbecue happening beside you, and you there, present in body, but too far away in soul. It's not coldness. It's not depression. It's a silent spiritual separation that God is doing inside you. He is taking you out of environments that no longer fit what He is going to give you. The third sign is the most painful. People start to disappear. Friends stop calling. Family members drift away for no apparent reason. Promises that seemed firm collapse overnight. And you keep asking yourself, what did I do? Most of the time you did nothing. God is clearing your path. He is moving away what was light to bring in people of the weight He has prepared. I know it hurts. I know you want to scream. But pay attention. Everything that moves away from you at this moment is because it didn't fit in the next chapter. And if you are feeling at least one of these three signs, pay very close attention to what comes next. Because everything you are feeling is a piece of a much larger puzzle, and you need to see the full picture before you miss the right moment. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If You Are Saved for Judgment Day. The link is in the description and at the top of the comments. Get yours now before this content is removed. Your family depends on you having this clarity. Now I need to tell you something that will answer a question you have been asking yourself for a long time. Why? Why precisely me? Why precisely now? Why so much suffering if God can do anything? Why didn't He prevent that loss? Why didn't He stop that betrayal? Why did He let you starve in your soul for so long? The answer is in a place that few people know in the Bible. Psalm 56 verse 8. David, a man persecuted, cornered, betrayed by his own children, with his life hanging by a thread, writes something absolutely impressive. He says, "You count my wanderings, put my tears into your bottle." Do you understand? David is saying that God has a spiritual container where He keeps every tear of yours. It's not poetry. It's not a pretty metaphor. It's spiritual reality. God has a place where He collects your pains, and everything He collects, He transforms. This is the point. God does not allow you to cry for nothing. Every tear is raw material. Every sleepless night is a seed. Every prayer made with a choked voice is a deposit. And when the time comes, He opens this container and gives it back to you in the form of multiplied joy. But there is a detail that many people miss. For God to give it back, He must first collect it. And for Him to collect it, you must surrender it. How many of your tears are still trapped inside you? How many pains are you carrying alone because you think it is weakness to cry before God? How many frustrations have you swallowed in silence because you thought no one would understand? I am going to tell you something that might shock you. Most Americans over 35 no longer cry. It's not that they don't have a reason. It's that they learn to dam it up. You grew up hearing that men don't cry. You grew up hearing that women need to be strong for the family. You grew up swallowing sobs so as not to worry the children. And then you reached this age, carrying an entire lake of tears that were never shed. And God cannot collect what you do not release. This is one of the great reasons why so many people are spiritually stuck. It is not a lack of faith. It is not a lack of prayer. It is a lack of surrender. Go ahead and cry. Cry in the bathroom if you need to. Cry in the car. Cry standing in the kitchen washing dishes. Because every tear that falls is a key that God takes and keeps to open a door in your future. And here is the most beautiful part of this story. The Bible says in Psalm 30 verse 5 that weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Notice the words, weeping for a night, joy for an entire morning. The night has a beginning and an end, but when the morning arrives, it illuminates everything. God does not give back in the same proportion that you cried. He gives back greater. He gives back better. He gives back with eternal interest. You cry a little today, and He is already preparing an entire season of joy to give you. Joseph from the book of Genesis is the perfect example, sold by his brothers, falsely accused by Pharaoh's wife, imprisoned, forgotten in jail. Imagine how many tears this young man cried in silence. Imagine how many nights he wondered where God was. And God was there, collecting, keeping, preparing. And when the time came, Joseph became the governor of Egypt. It wasn't a small promotion. He was the second most powerful man in the known world at the time. Everything that seemed like a waste was a seed, and when the time was right, it yielded a harvest. Maybe you are in your cistern phase, maybe you're in your unjust prison phase, maybe you are feeling the bitter taste of being forgotten by people who promised to remember. But I guarantee you, God does not forget. He is just waiting for the right moment to move. And do you know what the definitive sign is that this moment is coming? It is what I am going to tell you now, because when God is about to turn the page of a life, He first confronts the person with a choice, an invisible, silent, but decisive choice. And many people miss this breakthrough because they don't realize the choice is being offered. You are not watching this video by accident. I already told you this, but now I need you to truly feel it. Every word that is entering your ear at this moment is an answer that God is whispering directly into your soul. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If You Are Saved for Judgment Day. This book is different from everything you have ever read on the subject. It is not there to scare you. It is there to awaken you, to show you clearly where you are spiritually and what needs to be adjusted before time runs out. Thousands of Americans have already received this material, and the testimonies that arrive every day give me goosebumps. Mothers who started praying with their children again, husbands who reconnected with God after years away, people who felt dead inside found a new breath of faith. The link is in the description and also pinned at the top of the comments. Secure yours now. This video, this book, this moment, none of this came into your life by accident. If you feel you need it, act now. Don't leave it for later, because later might be too late. And while you still have this flame burning in your chest, write down here, Lord, I accept your call. Now pay close attention to what I'm going to teach you from here on, because knowing that God has collected your tears is one thing. But positioning yourself to receive the joy He is about to release is something completely different. There are people who lose the blessing because they weren't prepared to receive it. There are people who see the door open but don't enter because they are still looking back at the place where they suffered. And I don't want that to happen to you. So engrave these next truths as if they were gold. First thing, stop dwelling on the past out loud. You can think about it. It's natural. But stop declaring it. Stop telling everyone what you suffered. Stop repeating the same stories of hurt and defeat. Every time you speak your suffering out loud, you delay the joy. It's not because God is punishing you. It's because your mouth is creating a chain that binds the miracle. The Bible says in Proverbs 18 verse 21 that death and life are in the power of the tongue. Everything you speak constantly, you attract. If you keep repeating, I am tired, you attract more tiredness. If you keep repeating, my life is difficult, you attract more difficulty. Start speaking differently. I am not asking you to lie. I am asking you to speak what God has already decreed. Say out loud, God has collected my tears, and they will turn into joy. Say this when you wake up. Say this before you sleep. Say this in traffic when that anxiety hits. Your mouth has to get used to the language of the new season. Second thing, stop comparing your timing with the timing of others. You open Instagram and see so-and-so traveling, someone else buying a house, another person posting a happy family, and then that tightness hits. Why not me, Lord? Why does it take so long for me? I am going to tell you something hard, but necessary. It takes longer for you because what God is preparing for your life doesn't fit in someone who settles for little. Those who receive a quick blessing receive a small one. Those who wait with faith receive a great one. It is not an absolute rule, but it is a principle. Look at the story of Anna in the first book of Samuel, a barren woman, humiliated by her rival, crying year after year in the temple. She cried so much that the priest thought she was drunk. But in that time, God was collecting her tears. And when He gave them back, He didn't just give back Samuel. He gave back a prophet who would change the entire history of Israel. Anna waited. Anna suffered. Anna was humiliated. But Anna received something that no woman of that time had. Maybe you are in your Anna season, waiting for something that seems to never come. Hearing snide remarks from people who don't understand your process, feeling ashamed to keep asking for the same thing. But I guarantee you, God is in control of time. And when He moves, He will move in a way that no one will be able to deny the origin. Third thing, recognize who was placed in your life to help you get through this phase. God never takes you into a desert without giving you manna. There is always someone nearby, a friend, a pastor, a brother in faith, a person who appears with the right word at the right time. Look around. Who is this person for you? Call them. Send a message. Thank them. Because sometimes we go through deep pain and become so closed off that we ignore the instrument God placed by our side. Fourth thing, and perhaps the most important, don't give up exactly one step before the breakthrough. This is the enemy's cruelest blow. He knows that God has already collected your tears. He knows that the joy is coming. He knows that you are a few days, maybe a few hours away from the breakthrough. And it is precisely at this moment that he puts a crazy idea in your head. A desire to throw everything away. A feeling that nothing will work out. A supernatural tiredness that feels like lead. Be careful. When you feel you can't take it anymore, it's because you are very close to receiving. Resist. Hold on tight. Don't make important decisions at this moment. Don't give up on your marriage, your job, your church, your child, your project, your faith. Don't give up on yourself, because after the night comes the morning, and it will arrive. Now let me tell you a story, and I want you to imagine yourself in it. Imagine a 47-year-old woman. Let's call her Martha. Martha woke up today with a tight chest. Her husband has been unemployed for 8 months. Her oldest daughter entered a difficult phase and barely speaks to her. The bills are all arriving at the end of the month. And today, Martha has to face another day of work in a place where her boss humiliates her in front of others. Martha sat on the edge of the bed, looked at the ceiling and said something simple, "Lord, I can't take it anymore." And at that moment, the Spirit of God filled the room. And an inner voice, gentle, firm, said to her, "Martha, your tears were not in vain. I collected everyone, and today begins the day of your breakthrough." Martha got up differently. She went to work with a peace she herself didn't understand. That afternoon she received a call. It was an old co-worker, offering an opportunity that paid double what she was earning. That same day, at night, her husband returned home with a firm job offer that appeared out of nowhere. And the following week her daughter knocked on her bedroom door at night and apologized, crying, all within a 7-day interval. Coincidence? To those who don't know the way God acts, yes. To those who know, no. Martha had entered the season of joy. Her tears became keys to doors that had been locked for years. And this story, with different names and different contexts, is repeating itself all over America. You can be the next one, but you have to be attentive. You have to be ready. You have to be available to act when the sign comes. Another story, and this one is from the Bible. Remember David? Before being king, he was a shepherd. Before commanding armies, he was ridiculed by his own brothers. Before living in a palace, he slept in caves fleeing from Saul. David cried a lot. The Bible records the Psalms as the diary of his tears. And look what happened. Every tear of David became a psalm. Every psalm became comfort for millions of people, for thousands of years. Can you imagine? His personal pain became a tool for collective healing. His tears feed the world's faith to this day. And that is why God allows pain in some specific lives. Because he knows that from that pain will come material capable of saving other lives. Who knows? Maybe your story after being transformed will be used by God to help another person. Who knows? Maybe your child needs to see you win to believe that they can also win. Who knows? Maybe your daughter-in-law, your neighbor, your sister-in-law won't look at you a year from now and say, "If God did this in her life, he can do it in mine too." You are not suffering only for yourself. You are suffering for a multitude that will yet witness your testimony. Think about that. Fifth thing, take care of your daily spiritual nourishment. You cannot receive joy if you are starving for the Word. Open the Bible every day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Listen to a worship song that touches your heart on the way to work. Talk to God when no one is looking. Create intimacy, because the joy that comes from God needs a prepared vessel, and daily prayer prepares the vessel. Sixth thing, stop trying to understand everything. There are things God will not explain to you in this life, and that's okay. There is pain that has no rational answer, and that's okay. There is loss that has no logical consolation, and that's okay. Accept it. Surrender it. Trust. It's not passive resignation. It's active trust. It's looking up and saying, "I don't understand, but I trust." This is the type of prayer that moves mountains. Seventh and last thing for now, prepare yourself to receive double. The Bible has a very strong principle in the book of Job. After Job lost everything, after he cried everything he had to cry, God restored him with double what he had before. Double the oxen, double the sheep, double everything. And the children he had afterward were called the most beautiful in all the land. Notice, it wasn't just restitution, it was multiplication with improvement. This is the way God operates. He doesn't give back what you lost. He gives back greater, better, and more beautiful. Maybe you lost a relationship. God can give you another one better. Maybe you lost a job. God can open a bigger door for you. Maybe you lost a dream. God might be keeping a dream you haven't even imagined yet. But to receive the double, you need to stop crying over what you lost and start opening your hands to what is coming. Now, before I give you the final key to this video, I need to warn you about something very serious. There is a period between the collecting of the tears and the delivery of the joy. This period can last days, weeks, or months. And it is in this period that most people fail. Why? Because the silence of God is different from the absence of God. When he is collecting, he tends to be silent. You pray and it seems like no one hears. You fast and it seems like nothing changes. You read the Bible and the words seem dry. You sing and it seems like your voice doesn't rise. It is exactly at this moment that many people conclude that God has abandoned them, and it is exactly at this moment that God is closest. He is close to you at this moment. You are not alone. You are not. There are people going through exactly the same thing you are going through. There are people waking up with the same feeling of emptiness you wake up with. There are people sitting in front of the TV with their family around and feeling absolutely alone. It's not drama. It's not weakness. It's a spiritual season. And every season has an end. Did you know that in America, recent data shows that more than half of adults over 35 report frequent anxiety? More than half. You are not an exception. You are part of an entire generation that needs to be healed. And God is doing this healing, one person at a time. And today is your turn. That is why this video appeared on your screen. That is why you couldn't change the channel in the first few seconds. That is why your heart is beating faster now. This here is God. It's not a coincidence. It's a direct spiritual movement. There is a principle hidden in Ecclesiastes that few people talk about. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to plant, a time to harvest, a time to seek, a time to lose, a time to keep, a time to cast away. You are leaving the time to weep. You are entering the time to laugh. You are leaving the time to seek. You are entering the time to find. And this only happens to those who recognize the transition. Those who don't recognize it stay stuck in the previous time. They keep planting when they should be harvesting. They keep crying when they should already be laughing. Don't stay stuck. Walk. Advance. I'm going to give you now 3 sentences for you to repeat every day of this next week. Write these sentences down. Stick them on the fridge if you need to. Put them as your phone wallpaper. Do whatever is necessary, but repeat them. Sentence number 1. My tears are kept with God, and each one will return in the form of a blessing. Sentence number 2. What I don't understand now, God has already understood for me, and I trust in His wisdom. Sentence number 3. Today is a day closer to my breakthrough, and I am thankful to be alive to see it happen. These sentences will reprogram your mind. They will take you out of the automatic mode of defeat and place you in the flow of faith. Repeat them for 7 days and tell me what happens in the comments. And also pay attention to dreams during this period. God speaks a lot through dreams. When He is about to release a great joy into someone's life, He tends to warn them beforehand through symbolic dreams: clear water, rising sun, new house, white clothes, set tables, peaceful animals. These are classic biblical signs of blessing arriving. If you dream of these things in the coming weeks, write it down below. I want to know. And also observe the people who will start to appear in your life out of nowhere. When God changes the spiritual season, He changes the people around you. You will meet new people. You will reconnect with people who had disappeared. You will receive invitations that don't make rational sense. Accept them. All of this is part of the movement. You are entering a new phase, and this new phase needs new company. God will swap your circle to give you what He has prepared. And to close this part, I want to leave you with a promise. It's not my promise, it's God's. It is written in Isaiah 61 verse 3 that God gives beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, The garment of praise instead of the spirit of heaviness. Notice, ashes become beauty, mourning becomes joy, heaviness becomes praise. This is God's work in the life of those who cried a lot. He doesn't throw the ashes away. He takes what seemed like the remains of a bonfire of suffering and transforms it into a jewel. Do you think your ashes are good for nothing? God disagrees. To him, your ashes are raw material for something beautiful. Maybe your marriage is in ashes, but God can bring out of there a renewed relationship. Maybe your health is in ashes, but God can bring out of there a restored body. Maybe your peace is in ashes, but God can bring out of there a serenity you have never had before, not even in your best days. Accept this process. Don't run from it. Don't mask it. Don't try to solve everything alone. Surrender the ashes, surrender the tears, surrender the tiredness, and watch God work. I know that for many, talking about faith has become a cliché. There are so many people selling religion out there. There are so many people using God's name to take money from those who are suffering. There are so many empty promises. I understand the distrust. But today, forget all of that. Take the thick shell off your heart. Become a child again before God. Go talk to him as if he were truly a father, without formulas, without pretense, without religion. Just talk. Sit in a chair tonight before sleeping and talk. Say everything that is stuck. Cry if you need to. Remember that every tear goes to a special place, and trust that from that place your joy will come out. This is the path. This is the secret. This is the invitation. Now tell me one thing, looking deep. How long has it been since you allowed yourself to feel? How long has it been since you woke up on automatic, made coffee on automatic, took the kids to school on automatic, worked on automatic, came back home on automatic, slept on automatic? Life has become a treadmill that doesn't stop. And when life becomes a treadmill, the soul slowly withers without you noticing. It's like that plant in the corner of the room that you forgot to water. One day it's alive, the next it's almost dead, and you don't even know when it happened. The good news is that God is watering you now, is watering you. Every word of this video is a drop of water falling on your root. And even if you have been dry for years, even if it seems like there is no more life in you, I guarantee you there is still a seed inside. God does not give up on those who still breathe. As long as you wake up in the morning, there is still purpose. As long as your heart beats, there is still a mission. As long as you are reading these lines or hearing this voice, there is still possibility. Don't let them deceive you by saying your story is over. Your story only ends when God says it's over. And while he is giving you air in your lungs, he is saying, "Keep going, my child. I am not done with you yet." This video is coming to an end, but God's work in your life is just beginning. You didn't arrive here by accident. You were guided. You were chosen to hear this word exactly now. And who knows, you need to act. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If You Are Saved for Judgment Day. This book is the perfect complement to this video. It deepens everything we talked about and gives you a clear map of what to do in the coming weeks. Entire families are being restored. Tears are turning into testimony. The link is in the description and pinned at the top of the comments. Secure yours now, before this content is taken down. Subscribe to the channel. Activate the bell. Like this video to reach more people who need to hear this. And write down here now, "Lord, I receive my breakthrough." I will read every comment. God bless you. And from today on, expect the impossible, because he has already collected everything. And now, the joy is coming.